So the issue with modern nutrition is that we have no lack of calorie availability. It's an overabundant supply of calories, yet a more and more deficient nutrient content within the calories that we're consuming due to the processing and refinement and large mass scale production from big food industries of the foods that were previously very nutrient dense. In my area, there's no raw dairy. It's pasteurized by law. Um, I I cannot find any grass-fed animal products in my stores at the moment. So to get these things, you have to be very creative. You have to go out of your way to try and upgrade your nutrient content. So this is how, in my area, I try and increase the quality of my food. So first of all, the eggs. This company is one of the omega-3 enriched eggs. Basically, they feed flax, and flax has ALA, plant omega-3, and these chickens eat that, and they're able to convert it into the active form of omega-3 that we can use, DHA. So if we were to eat the flaxseed and forget the middleman, the chicken, we would not get the same amplified omega-3 in its active usable form, DHA, if we ate the flax directly ourselves. This is the beautiful thing about animal agriculture. These ruminant animals, the chickens, all of these animals that we have traditionally eaten in our diet are very nutrient dense, and they take what they eat and they amplify it into a form of nutrition that is far superior than going directly and eating the flaxseed. So people that are ignorant of the subject will say, "Oh, look, see, why this egg has a lot of omega-6 because of flax seeds. That's why we eat flax seeds, and we don't need it. The chicken's full of omega DHA just because of the flaxseed." And there's a bit of ignorance in that respect that, yes, I know, but this animal takes flaxseed, which for humans is a crappy source of omega-3, and do the upgrading and amplification of the nutrients into active human forms that when we consume are much more nutritious. So in Canada, you can find decent prices these omega-3 enriched in the diet of the chicken. They give higher omega-3 content in the eggs. So it's not an ideal world, but that's what I do to up the quality of my eggs. But I also do have a nurse friend that also raises chickens herself, free range. So I'll buy it from her also. So it's always best to buy local or within the community. This is the only grass-fed ruminant animal I can find at the moment at my grocery store. It's sourced out. Unfortunately, it's not local, from New Zealand, but it's 100% grass-fed without antibiotics. And I can get this now regularly. So that's great. Okay. So it's a lamb, grass-fed lamb. So I'm going to eat these two today. So try and look locally for grass-fed ruminant animals, cows, grass-fed cows that are local. Sometimes you can buy a whole cow to feed one or two or three families. When you look at it, the price, when you divide it and you go to a local farmer, believe me, you'll be able to find that. And then you're encouraging local communities also. So become a group of people. What I'm going to start doing now is I have the ability to get some grass-fed butter about 30 minutes across the border to the other province in Ontario. So I'm going to do butter runs and encourage that company. So butter that's not grass-fed, while it's still nutritious, it's far superior. Anytime the animal's eating what is appropriate to its diet, it's better. When we go over here, this is a way of trying to get raw dairy if pasteurization is the law, and it is where I live. So here you have this cheese that is local from my province, and it's a strong aged cheddar, and it's It's the milk of these cows that is non-pasteurized, so it's raw. So this is a way of getting raw dairy and all the vitamin K, the vitamin D3, the fat-soluble vitamins, the vitamin K2 that is up and very high and necessary and often lacking. Here's another one that I can buy, raw milk cheese. So get the benefits of raw dairy through your cheeses, right? So it's delicious, high quality protein in there, saturated fat, cholesterol. You got everything that you need, okay? So this is a little bit what I go after. I also get a lot of salmon roe and fish eggs and stuff like that that are available at my grocery store. So just giving you an idea of what to ask for, so you can go to your local grocery store, and if they're not supplying certain things, you can make, as a consumer, a demand. That's how you affect change. If more and more of us demand and say, yes, I went to my local grocery store now, and I told them, I said, yeah, I'd like to make a suggestion or talk to whoever's in charge to see if they can offer this product. And I said, I go across the border, and I'm going to, there's a lot of people that want to buy grass-fed butter. So we just do butter runs across the border because it's supplied there. But I was like, if you would be able to get grass-fed butter here, then I said, I'm going to gather up groups for help, a couple $100, and I'll do butter runs, and I'd rather come here and get it. So they're going to see you as a consumer asking for that. They'll go out of their way and make demands. So when you see, raw dairy, grass-fed things that encourage a more appropriate human diet, and a more appropriate diet for the species that you're trying to get nutrition from, then encourage that and make demands as a consumer. That's how you affect change, not just, wearing a t-shirt, right? Like the plant-based people do. You want to affect change, use your common sense, use your consumer power to affect change, not by putting down other things, but by making demands for appropriate and healthy choices. Adding grass-fed animals back to our diet, raw dairy, and healthy chickens that live healthy lives, that are more free range, making demands that allow the animal to be in its most appropriate and close to nature, how they were, to have a good life while we're raising them, to be nutritious and to be very humane, and kill them swiftly. That's how it needs to be reformed. We need the animals outside grazing on the green pastures, eating that appropriate human diet, peeing, pooping, and just, as herds roaming around these lands, replenishing the topsoil, and just adding back topsoil to, and this is a great outdoor life for them, and where they're eating the appropriate diet, and they're replenishing the soil of these farms. Monoculture just plants these annuals, and they just suck out nutrients out of the ground. Ruminant animals are necessary for the life of the topsoil, and therefore our life. So we have to incorporate more natural and systems of agriculture that more closely represent nature's symbiotic cycles. All right, guys. So make demands at your grocery store for grass-fed ruminant animals, for high-quality eggs at affordable prices, and for raw dairy, or at least raw cheeses. Okay, if you don't have cod liver at your grocery store, then ask and say, would you be able to supply me with cod liver? This is, if they're not supplying it and you're willing to buy the shelf whenever they have it, they will supply it. It's selling. So this is how we spread the word. Spread the word about traditional foods. All right, thanks a lot. See ya.